Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 science fiction drama 3022, a film that is directed by John Suits and it stars Omar Epps, Miranda Cosgrove, who you may well recognise from the kids TV show from Nickelodeon a few years ago called iCarly. We have Angus McFadden, and we also have Kate Walsh from Grey's Anatomy. Now, this is a science fiction film set in the future, and if you want to know how far in the future, the clue's in the title. And it focuses on a bunch of astronauts that are based at a space station, and you are sent to this space station for basically a 10-year stint. You stay there for 10 years until your shift changes, and they're halfway through. They've been up there 5 years. And it's kind of like a stop ground. There's like Earth, and there's this space station, and then there's a place called Europa, which is another human settlement far away. So they're halfway through their stint on this space station, and the cracks are starting to show. Omar Epps' character, the captain, is suffering from mental stress, and they're all in their own ways kind of suffering. And they decide pretty much that they're going to throw the towel in, or certainly the doctor, played by Angus McFadden, decides he's going to basically report that they're not fit for duty anymore. However, one day they wake up and see that there is a catastrophic extinction level event takes place on Earth that leaves them stranded. And they've got to kind of then survival instincts kick in, and they've got to kind of then deal with that issue, how they're going to live, how they're going to survive with severe lack of oxygen and fuel and food and all those kind of stuff, and it becomes a real fight for survival of how they're going to continue on. That's the basic idea of what this story is about. So what did I think of 3022? Well, I think certainly the cast of this film make it very, very watchable. They all put in really excellent performances. They're all very, very good actors in their own right. Some of them I don't think are in it long enough. I would have liked to have seen a couple of the characters in it longer. But I enjoyed everybody's performance, and I believed everybody's performance. And while this is, you could argue, a low-budget science fiction film, I think if they'd have gone for a low budget cast, by that I mean a level of talent beneath what they got, this film would have been hard to watch, because for many people watching this film, this probably will be a bit of a drag. It's a pretty slow film. There's no aliens, there's no monsters, there's nothing like that. The only person you have to fear in this film are human beings, because humans can do pretty despicable things to save their own necks and do things when the survival instincts kick in, and this film focuses heavily on that side of the human condition, if you like, and it shows the low levels that humans will go to when their backs are against the wall, and their survival instincts kick in. But there is a very, very strong central message in this film of hope, and that certainly came across to me when I watched it, and it actually ends up being quite uplifting in parts of the film, and certainly by the end. And so it's hard to recommend for. It depends what kind of sci-fi fan you are. If you like to watch sci-fi and be embedded in a real story with real characters that are reasonably well written, and with a reasonably interesting and gripping story that arguably could have been set anywhere. It's one of those films that it didn't need to be set on a space station out in space. You could have set this, kind of anywhere and tweak the story to make it work. It's more about the human story, this film, so they've just decided to put it in a sci-fi setting. So if you're that kind of sci-fi fan that wants to watch something a little bit more grounded, a little bit cleverer than some of the other sci-fis out there, then you're probably going to enjoy this, because it's certainly watchable. I didn't dislike watching it, I just found it at times that it dragged a little bit, and its pace harms the film. It tries to inject some intensity now and again, but it's not, like the level of intensity and excitement they put in the Tom Hanks film, like Apollo 13, where you're really invested and you need to know they're going to be okay, and everything goes wrong. Well, similar things happen in this film. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong with the space station and with this crew in general. But it doesn't feel, you don't feel as invested as you do in a film like Apollo 13, and that's not necessarily down to the actors and the performances. I think it's more along the lines of the scenarios that they were put in. Not overly exciting or interesting, certainly for the majority of the film. So yeah, if you want to watch this film to watch ray guns and aliens and people's chests exploding and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be disappointed. But if you want a fairly decent and grounded science fiction film with decent performances at the core, this may well be for you. I'm going to go straight down the middle, and I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Very watchable, but not very exciting would be my assessment for 3022. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you found the review useful. I'll see you next time for more reviews on Screen Stars.